When a man practices semen retention, the first change does not happen in his body. It happens in the room. People begin to respond differently before they even understand why. Conversations shift. Eye contact lasts longer. Respect shows up without being asked for. This isn't imagination, it's psychology reacting to coherence. Human beings are highly sensitive to internal states. Long before words are spoken, the nervous system of one person reads the nervous system of another. When your energy is scattered, anxious, or depleted, people subconsciously feel unsafe, dominant, or dismissive around you. When your energy is stable, regulated, and grounded, people instinctively adjust. Semen retention creates internal order. Dopamine stabilizes. Impulses weaken. Attention sharpens. This internal discipline creates a calm baseline, and calm is psychologically powerful. The human brain associates calm with leadership, certainty, and competence. People around you begin to feel slightly exposed. Not because you judge them, but because your presence removes noise. When you're not fidgeting, over-explaining, or seeking validation, others become aware of their own insecurity. This creates two reactions, respect or resistance. Some people lean in. Others feel threatened. Retention strengthens non-reactivity, and non-reactivity disrupts social power dynamics. Most people unconsciously rely on emotional reactions to feel dominant, teasing, provoking, seeking approval, or pulling attention. When you stop feeding those dynamics, control silently shifts toward you. Psychologically, this is known as frame control. Your frame becomes stable. Others begin entering it. You speak slower. Your pauses grow longer. You don't rush to fill silence. Silence itself becomes communication. In group settings, people start looking to you before making decisions, even if you're not the loudest voice. This is not charisma learned, it's presence earned. Women sense this first. Not attraction in a shallow sense, but psychological polarity. Your calm nervous system contrasts with emotional volatility. You become a grounding point. This activates trust, curiosity, and subconscious admiration. You are no longer chasing connection, you are filtering it. Men sense it differently. Some become respectful. Some become competitive. Some grow uncomfortable without knowing why. Your retained energy exposes hierarchy without confrontation. Dominance is no longer asserted, it is assumed. Retention also sharpens eye contact. Not aggressive. Not needy. Neutral and unwavering. Psychologically, steady eye contact without tension signals self-possession. The brain interprets this as authority. People start explaining themselves to you. They justify decisions. They overshare. They seek approval subtly. This happens because your presence creates an internal mirror. When a man is aligned, others subconsciously measure themselves against him. You become a reference point. Importantly, this is not about superiority. It's about coherence. A man who controls his urges controls his reactions. A man who controls his reactions controls his social environment. Semen retention removes internal contradiction. When your actions match your intentions, your body language becomes congruent. Humans trust congruence more than words. This is why people feel drawn to you even if you say very little. Your aura isn't something mystical, it's psychological integrity made visible. As retention continues, something subtle but critical happens in social environments. You stop broadcasting need. Most people unconsciously leak desire through microbehaviors, leaning forward too fast, interrupting, nervous laughter, over-agreement, or excessive explaining. When your inner drive is no longer seeking release, those leaks disappear. Psychologically, this registers as emotional self-sufficiency, which the human brain reads as high value. People around you begin to feel more regulated in your presence. This is not coincidence. Nervous systems synchronize. A calm, centered system pulls others out of chaos without effort. This is why leaders often feel grounding, not because they speak well, but because they are well regulated internally. Semen retention strengthens this regulation by reducing impulsive dopamine-seeking behavior, allowing your baseline state to stabilize. You may notice that conversations slow down around you. People pause before responding. They think more carefully. This happens because your presence subtly raises the standard of interaction. When someone is internally disciplined, careless speech feels exposed. Others begin choosing words more deliberately, mirroring your internal order. Another psychological shift occurs in how people test you. Early on, some will challenge, provoke, or attempt dominance. This is instinctive. Hierarchies are always being negotiated. But when you don't react emotionally, no defensiveness, no irritation, no need to assert, the testing collapses. The brain quickly categorizes you as someone who doesn't need to prove status, which is the highest form of status. Over time, people begin deferring to you without conscious agreement. Decisions subtly shift in your direction. Group momentum aligns with your energy. This is not manipulation, it's coherence attracting coordination. Humans instinctively follow what feels stable, especially in uncertain environments. Women, in particular, experience a psychological contradiction around you. They feel both relaxed and alert. Safe, yet intrigued. This is because retention sharpens masculine polarity, not through aggression, but through containment. Containment signals strength more powerfully than expression. A man who holds his energy feels expansive without being invasive. Men, on the other hand, often mirror your behavior unconsciously. They stand straighter. Speak slower. Adjust posture. This is mimicry driven by perceived hierarchy. The brain aligns with perceived leaders automatically, especially those who display restraint rather than dominance-seeking behavior. Your silence begins to speak louder than your words. When you do speak, people listen, not because you speak often, but because you don't waste language. Psychologically, scarcity amplifies value. A man who speaks only when necessary becomes a signal, not noise. Retention also changes how conflict behaves around you. Arguments de-escalate faster. Aggressive personalities lose momentum. This happens because emotional fuel is no longer being exchanged. Without reaction, conflict starves. This is why truly powerful men rarely need to raise their voice. Eventually, you reach a point where social situations no longer drain you. Instead, they respond to you. You stop managing impressions and start setting atmosphere. That is the final psychological shift, when presence replaces performance, and your inner discipline quietly organizes the world around you. As retention deepens, people around you begin to project meaning onto your presence. This is a powerful psychological phenomenon. When someone does not reveal their internal state easily, the human mind fills in the blanks. Silence becomes interpreted as confidence. Stillness becomes interpreted as depth. Because your energy is no longer scattered, others subconsciously assume there must be something valuable being protected. You may notice people oversharing around you. They reveal insecurities, ambitions, or personal struggles without being prompted. This happens because your regulated nervous system creates a sense of containment. Psychologically, humans open up when they feel someone can hold emotional weight without reacting or judging. Retention strengthens this capacity by reducing emotional volatility. Authority begins to form around you without intention. Not formal authority, psychological authority. People start asking for your opinion even when you are not the most vocal or experienced. This is because decision-making energy naturally moves toward stability. When your internal state is consistent, others unconsciously trust your judgment. Your body language also begins influencing group dynamics. You occupy space without trying to dominate it. Your movements are slower, more deliberate. In psychological terms, slow movement signals confidence and resource security. Fast, erratic motion signals anxiety or scarcity. Retention trains the body to move from a place of internal abundance. In competitive environments, this creates an unexpected advantage. Others rush. You wait. Others react. You observe. This asymmetry creates pressure, not on you, but on them. The human brain struggles when someone refuses to mirror emotional urgency. Calm becomes a weapon without aggression. People also begin recalibrating how they treat you. Jokes aimed at undermining stop landing. Casual disrespect quietly disappears. Not because you corrected it, but because your energy no longer invites it. Boundaries become implicit rather than enforced. This is one of the clearest psychological markers of inner authority. Another subtle shift occurs in how people remember interactions with you. Conversations linger. Your words echo later. This is because retention enhances coherence between speech, posture, and intent. When these align, the brain encodes the interaction more deeply. You are not just heard, you are registered. Women often experience cognitive dissonance around you. You do not chase, yet you are attentive. You do not seek validation, yet you are fully present. This breaks familiar patterns. The mind becomes curious when expectations are violated calmly. Attraction intensifies not from effort, but from contrast. Men, especially those unconsciously competing, may feel uneasy at first. This is because your presence highlights internal disorder without confrontation. Retention creates internal alignment, and alignment exposes fragmentation in others. Some will resist this feeling. Others will respect it. Ultimately, semen retention reshapes social reality by changing who you are being, not what you are doing. Psychology responds to states before actions. When your state becomes grounded, contained, and disciplined, the world adjusts around you, quietly, naturally, and permanently.